Okay, 3, 2, 1. What's going on, guys? Happy Friday. Happy Labor Day weekend if you guys are finally off of work or out of school. I am here for today's Q&A. Real quick update, I tried to do a live Q&A this week. Was trying to do it Thursday since last week's Q&A was on Friday. Tried to make that work out. Obviously it did not. I shot around 5 o'clock. Nobody showed up. Nobody asked questions. And I didn't have any questions sent in beforehand. So I kind of just updated you guys on what was new in life. So to solve the problem of people probably being at happy hour or getting ready for the weekend or partying or doing whatever they were last Friday, I decided let me just collect questions this week. If I could do a live Q&A, I was going to do it yesterday, but unfortunately a shoot that I was on lasted much longer than I thought, and there was no way I'd be able to get to Starbucks to do the live Q&A, even though I did have pre-prepared questions, which were great. So what we're doing today, because it's Friday and people are going to be out partying again this Labor Day weekend, I didn't want to bother anybody with trying to get them on to do the live Q&A. So right now I've got questions prepared for you guys, for myself, to go through today. I'm answering each one the best that I can, and I'm going to make this kind of vlog style, so there's going to be things popping up. With that being said, guys, I want to give 2 shout outs real quick because I haven't in a while. Number 1, my Active Faith shirt. You guys know that I love their gear. I don't have much of it. I have a hat of theirs and this shirt, but I do love it. I also want to give a shout out to Shields of Strength. I was given this necklace by a really good friend of mine. Now both the necklace and the shirt say I can do all things through Christ. That kind of is what drives me through my gym days, days that I'm down, days that I'm busy and just can't even catch a break, or days that I'm just bored out of my mind, because we are all humans and we have days that we're bored out of our mind and just kind of get down in a slump. So without further ado, guys, before I go anywhere else, like I just said, without further ado, I just kind of scratched that whole thing. I'm trying something totally new today, guys, before we get into the questions. Usually when I've tried to use my Blue Yeti microphone beforehand to record vlogs, I've had to use my laptop because it just made things easier and it recorded the sound and the video all in one thing. But today, as you guys can probably tell, I'm using my GoPro to record the vlog per usual, but I'm recording all the audio through GarageBand on my laptop with my Blue Yeti microphone. So you guys will probably be hearing a whole lot more of nature's noises since we're sitting outside in the tiki hut here at the model house, and there's some crickets chirping. You'll hear birds, you'll hear wind every now and then. But without further ado, guys, I'm super excited to get into these questions that were sent to me. And the very first question I'm going to start off with, guys, is from my good buddy back in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, Zach Felon. And he asks, how did you get into modeling? How did you decide to leave college and do this? So as I've mentioned in a previous Q&A before, as I've mentioned in previous vlogs, growing up, guys, my favorite superhero was Spider-Man. I wear his shirt all the time. He was my motivation for getting into fitness. He was my motivation for getting into parkour and cheerleading. He was just my motivation in a lot of different aspects of my life. I'm not going to lie to you all, and this is not me asking for a pity party. This is just part of my life. I was bullied growing up, and I was always kind of one of the last kids picked for teams at PE, at recess. I was one of those kids that, I had braces and glasses and was overweight all at the same time. And if I can real quick, I'll throw a picture in right here so you guys see what I'm talking about. Ready, set, here it is. I'm the guy in the blue shirt. Yep, take it all in. But you know what, guys? I will tell you right now, I'm not embarrassed by that. I'm not embarrassed by this photo. My parents gave us responsibility to eat what we wanted to eat and take care of ourselves because they wanted us to learn how to do so earlier than most kids do. I kind of ate whatever I wanted to, and I had no concept, guys, of nutrition. I had no idea that food could be a tool for reaching the goals that I had, and not just a thing that you can enjoy. In this time, guys, growing up, comics were big things for me. It showed me characters that overcame ginormous obstacles and were incredible people and incredible role models to others that they affected and people that they saved. It gave me hope in a time where I never defended myself. I was bullied for my weight, for wearing glasses, and for having braces, for not being great at sports, and that was tough for me. So reading comics, guys, for me gave me hope that I would be able to find a group of friends that I would be able to fit in with. I'd be able to find a sport and live a life that I was proud of. So every day, guys, comics motivated me to be very much like the superheroes that I read about. Granted, I couldn't have some extraordinary superpowers, but I could treat people the way I would want to be treated. Be respectful, be kind, kill others with kindness and not violence or anger or disdain or anything like that. So to get to your question, Zach, you said, what got me into modeling and acting? Honestly, since I was little, I've wanted to be a superhero. After I graduated college, man, I thought I wouldn't want to be 65 years old and look back on my life and say, man, what if I had tried to be an actual superhero? So with that being said, I am here in New York, in New Jersey, working and acting and modeling and doing what I am so blessed to have found that I am passionate about, and one day hoping to be able to play a Marvel superhero. Shoot, they could have me play a villain, like I've said before in a vlog, as long as I could be in a Marvel movie and be a role model to somebody else. Obviously, villains most of the time are not role models, don't get me twisted, but that's kind of my motivation for getting into modeling after my entire life, because superheroes were my reason for fitness, for getting in shape, and for treating others well as well as making this big move in my life and being a finance major to hopefully one day a superhero in the movies. Moving on to the next question. Thank you so much, Zach, for that one. The next question we have is from my buddy Danny Nunez. The question that Danny has is a fitness related one. He says, I've been rock climbing for 6 months, 4 to 5 times a week, and have been eating pretty well. How can I tone up my abdomen? Is it just nutrition? Or is it different exercises that I needed to do? So Danny, if you're truly rock climbing 4 to 5 times a week, listen man, the few times like a year that I get to go rock climbing, I am exhausted afterwards. It is a complete full body workout, not just mentally having to hold on and having to deal with heights and everything, but it fires up your forearms, your grip strength, obviously your back, your biceps, your core as you hold your body tight to the wall, your legs. And granted, this is coming from a guy who's, only rock climbed a few times in your life, so I know that you're doing some great stuff. But Danny, if you want to really tone up and everything, I can't say enough about apple cider vinegar. This goes for anybody, not just Danny asking this question. Apple cider vinegar is something you take 3 times a day, about 2 tablespoons worth in a big cup of water, because obviously it's vinegar and you don't want to drink it straight because it can damage your enamel in your teeth, it can damage your esophagus because it's so strong and so acidic. Our bodies are much more basic than we think. They need to be a little more acidic, and when your body is more acidic and balanced, your immune system is stronger, your metabolism is stronger, you digest better. Here's my best example, guys, of how it helps your digestive system as well as your metabolism. When you're sick, you take a lot of vitamin C, right? Because you want to feel better. Your body's trying to metabolize all the vitamin C and digest it and use it, but a lot of that excess that your body's not used to gets passed through you when you use the restroom. What apple cider vinegar does is really helps you to use every single nutrient you put into your body by making sure it's fully digested and that your body fully processes it. So for those of us that take a lot of protein, a lot of times the protein will get passed through us because our body's not used to it, or maybe doesn't feel like it needs that much. But if you're trying to gain muscle mass and you have to have a higher protein diet, it's really great to take apple cider vinegar because it helps your body use all of that protein and not just process it through. If you're sick, if you're taking apple cider vinegar, number 1, it's going to kill a ton of the bacteria in your body, and number 2, it's really going to help you process that vitamin C that you're using and wanting your body to absorb and use to get the illness out of you. So Danny, apple cider vinegar 3 times a day with water is amazing right before your meals, and it'll help you feel better, it'll help you to not feel bloated, and best of all, guys, apple cider vinegar is like nitrous for your metabolism. It just cranks it up and helps you burn extra calories during the day. Now Danny, nutrition's a big part of this. Here's a quick hint, guys. If you have a Samsung phone, you have Samsung or S Health on your phone, use it. If you guys have iPhones, get MyFitnessPal. There's a free version of the app. I've asked every friend of mine, guys, who has asked me about nutrition, how to get in better shape or to tone up or anything, to really start using apple cider vinegar, as well as starting to track your food. Guys, I only started tracking my food on my Samsung Health app about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it's made already a huge difference in how I feel, how my body processes food, how my body processes different vitamins and minerals and everything, and I feel so much better. And this is not me like going vegan and being like, oh my god, I'm having this epiphany of being vegan. Now if you're a vegan and you feel great, more power to you. I just like being a carnivore too much. Side note on the carnivore, if you like red meat, generally bodies have a hard time processing red meat. Apple cider vinegar will help you to digest it better, not feel bloated afterwards, and it's amazing. Now Danny, I'm not saying sit there with a food scale and measure every single ounce to every single decimal point unless you want to get that into it. However, I do it very generally. Say for example, if I'm at a restaurant, I'm not feeling super hungry, but I want to get some protein in and some good nutrition, I'll order a chicken salad, which most of the time I assume they put 1 to 2 chicken breasts on, most of the time grilled, as well as mixed greens, and I typically order a balsamic vinaigrette or some kind of vinaigrette dressing that's a lot lighter. It's not as many calories as say blue cheese dressing or ranch dressing. Guys, if you order a chicken Caesar salad thinking it's healthy, yeah, the chicken's okay and the salad's okay, but that dressing has a lot of excess calories and fat in it that you just want to avoid if you're trying to tone up. And honestly, balsamic vinaigrettes are delicious, are just super tasteful and not high in calories, so go with that. So Danny, what I would do with a chicken salad from a restaurant, I would track 1 or 2 chicken breasts, super general, not even weighing it out, and then about 2 or 3 cups of house salad or mixed greens, which you can easily find on the app. If you guys want to start toning up and getting in better shape, whether you guys have a Fitbit, a Samsung Gear, or a Apple Watch, or one of those crazy heart rate trackers, track the calories you burn during the day while you're eating, sleeping, breathing, and working out. It's super simple. Your watch does it for you, right? And when you go to exercise, you barely type it in and you say start exercise and it records your heart rate and estimates how much you're burning, and that way you can see at the end of the day on your app how much you have burned. And when you do the comparison between MyFitnessPal or Samsung Health to see here are the calories that I burned during the day and here's how much I took in, that'll really help you see, okay, I'm eating enough where I should be either losing weight and toning toning up, or I need to maybe increase my carbs and my protein, decrease my fat to build lean muscle and try to gain some weight. So thank you so much for that question, Danny. I really appreciate it, bro. I hope that helps a lot of you guys. The next question comes from Diamond_Eclipse on Instagram. I know this is a girl from World Cup All-Stars, the gym that I coach at for cheerleading here in Freehold, New Jersey. That was way harder to say than it needed to be. But the question is, what is your favorite part of stunting for cheering? Now, many of you guys know that I cheered for Florida State University for 3.5 years for basketball, volleyball, and football. Stunting is what happens when we, as the guys, toss the girl, hold them in one hand, do spins, flips, all that stuff. My favorite part about stunting is it feels like almost a circus act. It's something that's so different from every single sport in the world. It makes you feel unique, and it makes you feel strong, and it's something that's just fun. It's one person standing on top of another person's hands like it's nothing. There's nothing like it, and you can be so creative with it, and it just teaches you body control and balance and trust in other people, and it's an amazing confidence booster. I love stunting because you can start from ground zero, not knowing a lick about it. In 4 years, I was lucky enough to make it as one of the better guys on my cheer team in stunting. I was very proud of that because that was my goal during the first year when I didn't get to cheer at a lot of the football games because I wasn't good enough to make it on the field yet. I set a goal for myself and I reached it. With cheering, you can constantly make goals for yourself and get as good as you want to be, just like life. This is actually a great life lesson segue because at any time in life, you can start from ground zero, from having nothing. Start setting small goals, reach each goal, and then continue further on, build up and build up and build up, because you can be what you want to be. You can be from ground zero and then all of a sudden be one of the best stunters on your college cheer team. If you put in the time and the effort, do it for yourself, do it for your teammate, and keep rocking on. Stunting is so unique and so much fun, and just is an absolute blast because it's such a creative thing you can do that helps you with fitness and with life in general, and it's just amazing. Stunting is amazing. So Diamond_Eclipse, I hope that answers your question. Thank you so much for it. My next question comes from my cousin Mason Brower, who has asked many questions before. Bro, I can't thank you enough for continuously asking questions. It makes these videos 1,000 times better. Mason and his girlfriend Claudia ask, how the hell do I burn so many calories in such little time? Simply going hard the whole time? I then asked to clear up with him what he meant by so many calories in little time. I made sure that he meant when I do my cardio. Now, when I do my cardio, guys, I typically do between 20 and 45 or sometimes 50 minutes of cardio even before I lift, just because I really like to use that as a way to warm up, get my body stretched out and ready to go for the lift. What I do when I go into cardio is I don't necessarily set a time restraint, because you can get on the elliptical or on the treadmill for an hour and just walk and not really burn a ton of calories. I'd rather get on the elliptical, give myself a 15-minute time span and shoot for a goal of 300 calories burned that the machine says, in order for me to feel satisfied and like I did a good job with my cardio. Now, what I've been doing more recently is upping the time limit so that I can actually burn more and more calories, because like I said before from the previous question from Danny, when you track your calories that you burn through the day and you track the calories that you intake during the day by eating, you're able to see those things. I've more recently been trying to have myself on a calorie deficit, which means that I'm burning a lot more calories in the day than what I'm eating, and that's just to help myself maintain and stay toned and tight. When you're having a calorie deficit, there's not really an easy way to build muscle, which means at some point in the next few weeks I need to decide to start having an excess of calories again if I do want to put on any kind of muscle weight. But Mason, that's what I do. I set a calorie goal and then I adjust the level of resistance on my cardio in order to reach that calorie goal faster. If you don't reach that calorie goal by the time you've hit that time limit, increase the time so that you can hit your calorie goal, guys. I can't stress how important it is to not just say, oh, you know what, I missed the calorie goal on the set time that I gave myself, I'm going to give it up and try tomorrow. Finish what you started. I don't care if you have to increase the time by 5 minutes and then just slow down your pace so that you know for a fact you're going to hit that calorie goal. Once you start something, finish it. Guys, that's one of the things that I wanted to bring up earlier, is the reason why I wear this shirt and wear this necklace by Active Faith and by Shields of Strength, is because whenever I'm feeling tired and the music is no longer keeping me in it, and if I had pre-workout or coffee, neither of the two are keeping me in the cardio anymore and I just want to stop, I think about the shirt I'm wearing, I'm thinking about the necklace that I'm wearing, knowing that I can do all things through Christ, and I was blessed to be able to be active and to be able to be fit and be able to do these things that so many people wish they could do. I push myself, whether I have to increase the time and decrease my pace, make sure that I can pace myself to my final goal, or adding more time and increasing my level of resistance and just busting out to get to the calorie goal as soon as possible. Finish what you started. You're going to feel so much better when you walk out of the gym when that happens. And Mason, I really hope that answered your question. Claudia, I hope that answered your question. Now guys, I'm finally to the last question of the day. This next question is from a friend of mine on Instagram. His Instagram username is DISRXUPT. I kind of read it like disrupt, but obviously there's an X in the middle. probably meaning disrupting, the word disrupt. Anyways, his question is pretty great. His first question is, the source of your light is your faith. In the chaos of the days, how do you take pause to listen? How do you exercise faith? Now, that is a incredible and very deep question. As I've mentioned in now 2 previous questions and before I even started all the questions, my faith I like to wear on my sleeve, just like I like to wear my heart on my sleeve. When I talked about the superheroes that I read growing up and their motivation and inspiration to me to treat others well, no matter how they treated me, and trying to help people when I know they can't help themselves, defend others when they can't defend themselves, fight for others when they can't fight for themselves, stand up for others when they feel they can't stand up for themselves, that connected me and my faith so strongly. You know, my parents and my family, we went to church once a week on Sundays. I went to different church camps and all that, but I was able to tie my role models and superheroes to my faith and wanting to love others unconditionally, no matter how they treated myself or others, because that's the way that God asked us to be. That's the way that God asks us every single day to be. And that's why I love wearing this shirt or wearing this necklace in the gym, because people will walk up sometimes and say, dude, I love your shirt, keep rocking on, keep rocking your faith and Jesus on your sleeve, because that just brings such an inspiration to others. I'm not in the gym looking for attention, trying to get my work done and just be showing off my faith. No, I believe in this. I believe in God. I believe that He's given me the gifts to share with the rest of the world on my Instagram, on my Facebook, on my YouTube page, on my Twitter, positivity and light and encouragement, because there are so many people out there that love to spread hatred, which is so dumb, and I hate it because it's just a waste of time and it's a waste of energy to be doing that, to continue to tear other people down. So in the dark days, I've always looked to this message. I look to my Bible some days when I'm just really not feeling great, or I'm feeling down about myself or a situation or whatever it may be, and that is where my source of light comes from. No matter how bad I'm feeling or somebody else is feeling, I always try to take the time to say a prayer. I might be in the car on the way home from the gym, on the way to the gym, on the way to work, on the way from work. I will always just say a little prayer, say, God, I have been thinking too much about the situation or about this person that has brought me down. God, I'm going to give the whole situation and my entire life once again into your hands and let you take it and do with it what you will. And I pray that your will be done, God, because I know that you have more miraculous plans for me than what I currently know for myself, and that I trust you in everything that you do and everything you have planned for me. And so Disrupt, that's how I manage that. That's how in the dark days that I find my own personal strength, is through talking to God and just letting myself know, hey, I don't have to worry about anything because God's got my back. And as long as you stay in contact with Him, you don't have to go to church every day. You don't have to go to church once a week. Just stay in contact with Him and stay strong with Him. And that's where my faith comes from. And I just try to share that light with the world by being a positive person, being as optimistic as I can, even in dark days. So now moving on to your second question. That was a wonderful, wonderful first question. I hope that helps anybody watching this YouTube video. Know that I'm always here for you. God's always here for you. If you ever want to ask a question, please do message me on any of my social medias and I will be more than happy to chat with you. All right, man. So your next question is, next, there are a ton of people trying to do the same thing as you up there. What do you believe are the factors that raise someone above the level of normal in order to be unique and be seen in your industry? I see your next question. I'm going to go ahead and read this third question of his. What does a bad day look like for you and how do you overcome it? I think I kind of answered that in the first question, Disrupt, so hopefully I did. And if I didn't, feel free to reach back out to me and I will make sure to answer it in the next Q&A when I do that. So I'm just going to answer your second question now and we'll wrap it up, guys. So the second question again, how do you raise yourself above the level of normal in your industry since it is so vastly competitive? I like to look at it this way. In social media, it's competitive. Everybody's doing it. Everyone's trying to make it. Everyone is doing this, that, and the other to be the next big star, the next big thing. In modeling and acting, I feel the best way is to be myself, and that's the best way to progress myself. I'm very lucky that my life situations, the things that I've learned through different stories and different chapters of my life, has built me to be the person that I am today. My family raised me the way they raised me. My siblings always being there when I needed support. My friends always being there when I needed support. The church camps that I went to, the youth groups that I went to, living abroad in Europe for a year to learn self-confidence finally, since I so obviously needed that earlier in my life. And then while I was over there getting into fitness, wanting to be more like my favorite superhero Spider-Man by doing parkour, doing gymnastics, and all my friends that were part of that were so into fitness and nutrition. They taught me and kind of paved my way into that when I was all of a sudden just doing tons of running and tons of these tricks and fun flips and everything. It was just an amazing experience. And then bringing that experience and my experience from not getting great grades in high school or being the best student or the best athlete in high school, and totally changing my life from the first day that I lived in Czech Republic, learning a brand new language to make friends, and then bringing all those life lessons over to college to get pretty good grades. I'm pretty proud of how I finished out college with my financial degree and moving forward, just finding that drive. In college, guys, I worked worked a lot of jobs. I was a cheer coach. I was on the cheer team. I was taking multiple finance classes at the same time. I was an Uber driver. I worked at restaurants as both a server and a busboy. I did a lot of stuff, guys, and I'm very proud of that. This is not me bragging. This is just me saying I was kind of born with this drive to not just be quote unquote an average Joe. I want to be like the superheroes that I read about and achieve and help others and be there when others can't be there for themselves or can't support themselves or can't trust their life situations and trust that God is going to have their back. I want to spread God's love and God's light that He's shown me through my life and all my challenges and all my hard times and all the areas of my life where I felt like I could not get up and help myself. That is what has helped me to spread all of this and the joy and the happiness and try my best to support others. That hopefully kind of answers that question. And I say all this again and again and again because in my industry, you have to take acting classes, you have to take modeling classes, you have to do all these things, get good photo shoots done, you have to have good headshots, full body shots, you have to be doing everything to build up your resume, just like I built up my finance resume with internships, with the school that I went through, with all the jobs that I did and the coaching that I did in different sports that helped build me up so I could get great financial jobs. But I had to restart all that over when I got into acting and modeling, and I've used that drive wanting to be better, not to find a plateau and sit on that plateau. I wanted to be better than that. But it's not that I wanted to be better than anybody else. It's not like I chose somebody to say, hey, I'm gonna be better than him and set goals to be better than other people. I just want to be the best version of myself, Jennings Brower, in any relationship that I have, in any friendship that I have, in any contact that I have with another person or a situation. I want to be the best version of myself that I can. And whenever I've got a downfall or whenever I trip up or whenever I slip up or get things twisted, I want to learn from those things, come back, own up to it as a man, and make things better and continue to move forward stronger. So hopefully that answers your question, man. I continue to take acting classes. I continue to learn from the agents at the office who've been doing this for 30 years. I take advice from any of the guys who've been in the acting and modeling industry for much longer than I have. And I take all these things and apply it to my life and my values and everything to try to build myself up to not be better than anybody else, voice crack, but to be the very best version of S. Brian Jennings Brower that my parents raised me to be through supporting others, through the love of God that has touched my life, and I hope through my social medias can touch your guys' life and help you guys. Those are all the questions. I loved today's vlog. It is a beautiful day outside. It is Friday. It is the weekend. Guys, if you have work this week, crush work. Obviously, it'll be next week after Labor Day, which for you guys will start on Tuesday. Crush work next week. Get your responsibilities done so you can enjoy the weekend afterwards. Guys, if you have school, crush school, get good grades. I can't stress enough how important it is in high school, middle school, whatever, to start getting good grades and really push yourself to be the best version that you guys can be by getting good grades and making a great representation of yourself and how that's going to help you in life. And with all that being said, guys, I'm done. I'm getting out of here. Much love. God bless all of y'all. Have an amazing weekend. Have fun. Be safe. I will talk to you guys next week in my vlog. Jay Brower out. Love you guys.